Ah, hello. Good job I was watching the chat because I didn't realise what time it was. Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Am I here? Good evening and welcome. Welcome to another live stream. I do appreciate there might not be the 200,000 watching tonight, especially from America, because they're all over on the other YouTube channel watching the rocket takeoff. However, I have been plugging away in the NASA live stream to try and encourage one or two to come over after they've finished watching the takeoff and they can join in the chat. So yeah, so if there's anybody new in the channel chat tonight, welcome, and I think you'll find this a lot more interesting than watching 3 hours of two men sat in a small cabin doing nothing. And then yeah, so right, yeah, Lynn, you can keep us updated on what's happening and when it does lift off, if it does lift off, because I believe it's raining and it's like bonfire night. It's a bit spoilt if it's raining, isn't it? Puts a bonfire out. Right, hello, what have we been, right, I'm just trying these teeth out for the dog, so I just change them around, I put my own teeth back in, and then we can talk about what we're going to do tonight. Yay! Right, well, what have I been doing? I've been doing quite a bit this week. Do you want to have a look? Yeah, I'll show you what I've been doing. Here he is. Here's the man. Yeah, fetch him up. I've put him on a nice little base now, but yeah, my desert rat is finished. He's all put on a little base. The actual base is from a candle. You know these candles you get in glass jars? This is I can turn him over because he's glued. This is a woodwick candle holder at the lid. I haven't even sprayed it. I've just sprayed that little bit there, and then put some of the weathering sort of diorama type stuff down there, and he's done. Yeah, but he's great. I quite enjoy doing that, so I'm probably going to do another one. I've learned quite a bit for this, and I think next time what I'll do, I'm going to have a real go and do the guy in oils, because I think the blending is going to be much better actually on the model in oils, and I might try and film that or do that maybe on a live stream. I don't know, we'll see what we'll do. See if these live streams last anyway. But that's him. I haven't given him a name yet. I think I'll just call him Tommy as everybody else does. But yeah, that's him. Mitch's models, cracking sculpts, great to paint, great to go together, brilliant. Yeah, so I'm on the lookout for another one. I have seen one that I quite fancy doing, but that'll be for a future project. But that's him. Yeah. What else have I been doing? Right. A friend asked me this week if I would do some weathering for him on some of his railway locos. So I've had a bit of a practice. I got this carriage, and I thought, how do you weather things like? I haven't done anything like this for a long time. In fact, when I had model railways, I didn't even weather my models. They just used to run out of the box. So that's what I've done. So I had a little practice on this, and I turned it into a coal truck. So I turned it into a coal truck. Sort of weathered it all up with just simple weathering powders. Some what do you call it? Yeah. Oils, yeah, starship filth, that's the word. Yeah, a bit of starship filth, a few sort of pigments, and a little bit of dust and things like that. But yeah, it's all good practice. So I turned it from that to that, and I must say it doesn't look too bad at all. So that's, yeah, so that's good. So yeah, back to railway models. I haven't done any railway stuff for a long time. That building model railways is an art in itself. Not only have you got to do the trucks, the wagons and things like that, but there's all the scenery and the groundwork and things like that. They say that a proper model railway is never finished because there's always something else to do on it. But yeah, that's a cool truck which now looks like it's been carrying coal. So that's that. What else is going on? Right, I got a package today from eModels so I can get on with building the Titanic, because I think sometime last week I come to do the Titanic and then realised, one, I didn't have any masking tape. So I tried to cut some 6mm masking tape down to 2mm and it just didn't seem to work. It just tried my patience. I got things all tied up. If you've ever tried to cut masking tape down to 2mm, it just didn't work. So what I did, I sent the guys at eModels an order in. I'd got some 2mm masking tape, really thin stuff. This is a flexible one to go around corners, so it should hopefully go around all the curves. It's for the shear line at the top of the Titanic. If you don't know what shear line is, you'll have to watch the video. It will all become explained and apparent. So that's that. What else did I get? I got some yellow paint because I didn't have any yellow paint, obviously. And the Titanic needs some yellow paint. The shear line is yellow. So yeah, so make acrylics with balls in it. It's got balls in there. What else? Yeah, I also thought I would do some more weathering on the digger, because that's still waiting on the shelf, so I needed some steel. I got this one. This is AK's metallic modelling colours. It's a version 2 or something. Brand new formula, 3rd generation. What the difference is, I don't know. So yeah, natural steel, that's what I wanted anyway. That will actually, I think I'll give his bayonet another coat of steel anyway. You don't like it up in Mr. Manring. And what else I did? When I was perusing the website, as you do, I found some new, well, they claim they're new, I found some new weathering products, shaders. Looks like it comes in a liquid type, lipstick type bottle. I've not opened them. Yeah, it comes in droppers. I've got 3 of these, earth, light grey and orange, because the digger's orange. And I thought I would give them a go. Apparently these are supposed to be applied via airbrush. Acrylic based paint specifically formulated to apply shadows with the airbrush. So I had a look at the Ammo website and had a look how they use them, and it really does. It's a little bit like a filter. It's workable for up to 24 hours. So if you put it on and you don't like it, you can take it off. Cleans up with water. Airbrush shades dry completely in 24 hours. For more transparent effects, for a more transparent effect, this product can be thinned and cleaned with water. So there you are. So I'm going to give those a go. I'm probably, well, once I've worked out about them, I may produce a little sort of Emopen University Professor McSkipperton video about them, how to use them, what they do. Probably I could practice on one of my rail trucks, see how they go. So yeah, I quite like the bottles. Yeah, they do, I suppose, ammo, yeah, bullet shaped. But that's what I got from eModels today. They didn't have exactly all the shades that I wanted, so I had to make do with what they had. I got them. But yeah, as we see, becoming a dropper bottle, and without tipping it all out, you can see there it looks quite dark, but apparently when you spray it on, it's almost not noticeable until you put deeper and deeper cut shades on. But go and have a look on the Ammo website, on the YouTube channel. Not now. Don't go now. Wait until I've finished, then have a look. So yeah, that's that, and just some pigments, asphalt road dirt, yeah, for the digger. What else? So yeah, is that pigment? Yeah, pigments. Yeah, that's a pigment. So I've got that. So they're the things that I'm going to be getting on with. So yeah, hopefully now I've got the bits and pieces, I can start some videos of the Titanic this week. Right. Yeah, Model Maker Guru says, "Are we sure they aren't eyeliners?" Now, yes, they do. Yeah, I did look at that. I thought, yeah, but yeah. But anyway, let's have a look who's in chat, and then we'll have a go about whatever else is getting on today. Thank you all everybody. Thank you all very much for coming along. Anyway, giving me support, because it's quite hard when there's nobody here to talk to myself for an hour and a half. But right, the first one in was Dad tonight, or at least it was when I flipped it over to live chat. There may have been somebody in. Then Red Lane, they spoke amongst themselves for a little bit. Lynn came in. Lynn's keeping an eye on the launch for us, and I think she has mentioned later on down in the chat an update about what's going on. Quanaman, yeah. Who else is in? Yep, everybody's just waiting around for the the launch. Yeah, Dave came in, butchered that model, and he was promptly had his messages deleted by Chris. And yep, Paul. Yep. Scott's in. Scott's from Orkney, not the Orkneys, but Orkney. Yeah, look. Yeah, Highland Park, Orkney Distillery. And we learnt last week that not only has it got a distillery, well, it's got more than one distillery. It's got a gin, place that brews gin, a place that brews rum, and a place that brews beer. So yeah, so we're all going to come in. Everybody's just talking amongst themselves till we got started. Yeah, I do like. It's nice to see that everybody's coming in early and grabbing the seat, get the best seat front of the house, so I don't have to shout. Candygram for Mongo tells us there why he got his name, but now his nickname's Candy. Dexterous Crafter, hi Nat. Going down, Model Making Guru's in. Hi Fox. Says the best thing about a TED stream is the TED content. Yeah, I do my best. I make it up as I go along. Nothing is here. Nothing is scripted or made up or written down. It just comes out as it happens, as the drink. Yeah, it does. Chris. Nat. I think everybody's, yeah. Eric Graham says he thinks that a gin-induced Ted and a brandy-induced Chris, we should do a live stream together. Could be good. Dave, Jamie Bond, hi Jamie. Then everybody's telling me to press the buttons because I couldn't find a button. I didn't want to press the wrong button. Hopefully the stream won't fall over tonight. I've warned everybody downstairs not to switch anything on, not to go on the Wi-Fi or go onto the internet, because it slows my broadband down and sucks all the life out of it. So they're all down watching the Sewing Bee. So that's where I've got to compete against tonight. Sewing Bee in the UK and a spaceship launching in America. So yeah, I don't hold out much hope of having many viewers tonight. Cynical Steve. Ken Sturrock again. Eric Graham. Cardigram, just going down and down. Everybody's talking. At T16 there's going to be a weather update. So have we got there yet, Lynn? Have we got an update on the weather yet? Dave Cardboard says greetings. Hi Dave. Rocket on the telly, brilliant. Ted on the laptop. What more does one need? Whiskey, gin. I mean whiskey. That's water. Yeah, half a sup. Yeah, I try not to mix my drinks. Well, not in the same cup anyway. Any modelling questions, NASA? Yep. Anybody here from NASA? Anybody flipped over and got the wrong page by mistake? Wayne Haywood, NASA spaceship. Yeah, I'm glad to see there's a representative from NASA in. Good evening. Yeah, just drag everybody over when it's all done. Candygrams from Mongo. This is the first I'm hearing of this new paint. It's not actually a paint. It's acrylic based. It's not a paint as in a paint, but yeah, I did see something on the Facebooks from Ammo saying it was coming out, it was all new and things like that, and it wasn't until I was actually browsing through e-models that I saw it and thought, oh, I'll have some of that. So yeah, so we'll give it a go. Space is the only thing that comes anywhere near close as being as cool as dinosaurs, but dinosaurs shall win, says Model Maker Guru. A comment from Dave about Ann Summers and bullets, but never mind. Right. Right, so yeah, so that's just, yeah, so keep us updated on the spaceship, especially NASA. They can keep us updated on that. Right, where were we up to last week? Last week we spent most of the week scrolling around the floor looking for bits. Hopefully we're not going to do that this week, and I'll just get some of these bits out of the way. Oh yes, that's what I did as well. I bent my needle. I was airbrushing and bent the needle, but fortunately I managed to straighten it. Yeah, I learned of a technique to straighten airbrush needles, which comes in benches and level. Look, no wonder things fall off the bench. Yeah, if you've ever bent a needle on a Sunday afternoon when there's no shops open, you need a way to straighten them. That I could tell you that if you wanted me to, but yeah, it doesn't take too long. It's quite easy to do actually. It may not be perfect, but it will certainly get you going again until you can find a replacement needle. It works for any needles, and the secret of doing it is, one, you can pull it across your workbench to straighten it, or if I find a bit of cardboard, we'll polish it. Just pull it down and twist it as you go. Yeah, I'll show you that another time. Lynn Dipple says no launch today. The weather. So the guys have spent hours and hours getting all suited up in them flashy new astronaut type suits that don't look anything near an astronaut type suit. Looks like something from CNA. And now they've all got to start and get undressed and do it all again, but tomorrow perhaps. Oh well. So yeah, so if anybody's if anybody's just turning off the spaceship now, and they can come across here. So right, there's the air, but yeah, so that's that. Right, where were we up to last week? We didn't him. After scrolling around and finding his beret, we discovered he was a sergeant, not an officer, not a Rupert. So we will, there he is. If you missed it last week, if you missed him going together last week and what a pain in the backside he was, go and have a look at the video from last week. Not now, but later on. Go and have a look. And we'll see how it all goes together. Right, so today we can actually probably glue things together from the universal carrier itself. Oh, lots of easy bits. Lots of easy bits. Right, so we can start building up the hull and things. We'll probably get so far along here and then realise that we need to paint. Fox says, if I could lose something tonight again, please. That way he might actually find his part from the R2D2. Yeah. Just go out and have another look. Just nip out now. Well, I'll wait while you're here. Go and have another look. You might be there. Yeah, the last place you looked is the place you find it. Lynn says they're having another attempt on Saturday at 3 o'clock. Right, is anybody live streaming at 3 o'clock on Saturday? Fox, is that your time? Yeah, you may find him down on viewers. It affects us all. It affects everybody. Yeah, my numbers will be down tonight, no doubt, because of the launch. I've still got that. Right, so we need A1. That looks like, yeah, that looks like A1. Right, yep, don't forget a belly and bench time. Every stream that you see these days has a belly and bench. So what's on your bench at the moment and what's in your belly? For me, it was, what was it tonight? Chili and rice. So, yeah. Right, I've got to move everything out of the way now so I can get in the drawer because nubs. Oh, I found this model boat convention. You can't, probably can't see it. It's a prize. That's what you used to get as a prize. Paperweight. Ellesmere Port Model Boat Convention. It's when I won a prize. 2004. Oh, isn't that long ago? See, you could just see it. Yeah, so yeah, it comes in handy as a paperweight. Well, that's what it is. Now then, need sandy stick. Nubs. So the weather is glorious today. So I've been outside. I did come up to the workshop earlier to do a little bit up here, but then it just got so hot I had to go down again, just sit out in the sun. Yep. So, right, that's it. Yeah, Lynn says at 3 p.m. EST. So that can anybody work that out for us? Eastern Standard Time, I think, is EST. Anybody work it out to what that would be UK time on Saturday? Weather permitting, of course. Candygram for Mongo says last week's live stream was one for the ages, a true classic. Thanks. Yeah, I do try my best, but yeah, I do have a little bit of an influence. The glass hasn't got any more in it this week. It's just I put more water in it. As I think after last week, I should have put more water in. Right, that's that bit. Right, we need another bit, an A20. No, we just had an A20. Yeah. Does anybody still paint on the sprue these days? Right, now then, I've cut it off and I don't know which way around it goes or where it goes. I'll tell you what, we'll hold that bit, put that bit there. Put that bit there so you can see it. Can you keep an eye on that for me? Dave Cardboard says, according to Google, either 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. British summertime. I'm not getting up at 8 o'clock to watch a spaceship. I'll watch on catch up. Right, so that Cynical Steve says belly with chicken tacos. Bench is a newly holy holy Beyblade. Ah, right. Was it you that said you'd drilled some holes with your new pin vise? Hope you got one of those that's got the twiddly bit on the end so you don't drill a hole in your finger. Bolters were easy to do, the side holes first, then the actual barrel. Yeah, it does make a difference, doesn't it? Drilling barrels out. I know that these things, I'm sure that when I find a Bren gun on here, here's one, it won't have a hole in the barrel. It does make a difference, but I'm not going to drill holes out at this scale. Weather permitting, model making haggis. Hi there. Eric Graham says, who launches a rocket at 3 p.m. on a Saturday? Well, you wouldn't. If you're in the UK, it would be, it would be kick-off then, wouldn't it? So nobody would launch anything when football's kicking off. So it certainly wouldn't be in the UK. I did apologise to Lane as well that if it was the UK that was launching a rocket, there wouldn't be so much punching the air and singing the national anthem and things like that. It would be just sort of all quite laid back about it, wouldn't it? Cynical Steve says that Bryn Carron needs wings and a big jet engine and more Dakar. By model make haggis, yeah, lift off rather than kick off. Jamie Bourne says bench practicing weathering on a 135 T34 belly scrambled egg on toast. Yeah, scrambled egg on toast with pepper, ground pepper on the top. Belly says model bacon guru sees wonton soup, shu mai, Japanese beef undone, udon or undone. Bench Xbox items, yeah. So no modelling for you tonight then? Did you get, has that man come down from the pole yet, Fox? Has he fixed your internets? Dexterous Crafter, Nat says belly spag bol with meatballs. Bench laptop as she's editing for her next YouTube video. Woohoo! Looking forward to it. Lynn says hi to Agis. Ostrich, hi Ostrich. Ted, are you going to paint the gun carrier yellow? It would look lovely. Let me think about that. No. Chris says gross. Chris says chicken stir fry and trying to get the wood to work. Yeah, well, it is past 9 o'clock, so yeah. Candygram from Mongrel, yep, on about a glass coaster, says looks a very rare award. It's also practical. Yeah, they were. The one before this, I got a plate. Yep, it was a painted plate because it was the where was it? Ellesmere Port Canal Museum, because it's all painted. Sort of pottery type stuff. I got a painted plate. Lynn says belly peanut butter and Nutella And of course a cherry Dr. Pepper for Dad. Model making mayhem, so now there's mayhem, trucker, guru and haggis. It's like Reservoir Dogs. Going on down. Oh right. Right, I've pressed the blue button. I should have gone too far down. I've got to go back up the top. Chris Balchin, hi Turd and hi folks, hope I have not missed too much. No, I haven't dropped anything yet, mainly because I've only cut one piece off and that's that bit. I'm keeping an eye on it. Yeah, in fact I'll put it on there so I know where it is. I won't lose it. Frankie goes Hobbywood. Hi Frank. Hi, I had homemade potato pancakes. Oh, I had pancakes for breakfast. The wife got up and made some proper Canadian pancakes. Is really thick rather than the flat pancakes that you toss in the pan, like breakfast pancake. Quite thick, almost like a waffle, and then maple syrup over the top. But he's got homemade potato pancakes, apple puree in the belly, and a naked Tamiya Mazda Roadster dashboard on my bed. Good job I read the rest of that. Naked Tamiya Mazda Roadster. Gross models, nothing gets past me. Right. AJ asks, Ted, have I been into work at all? Maybe some restoration work on the boats during this period? Nope, nothing at all. I don't actually work on the boats myself. I just look after the building and plant. But no, the whole place has been shut down. We've all been furloughed, so nobody's been allowed to go in at all. Apart from one of the other estates team has been in looking at one of the other buildings because a pipe burst and there was a big flood and the ceiling has come down. So they're waiting on insurers and builders to put all that right. Skipper scale model and making guru tells me to drill all the holes. If you think I'm going to drill a hole like that, yeah, I don't think so. Eric Graham, you missed the waving a coal tender about. Yes, coal tender. Is anybody here into model railways as well as plastic models and things like that? Anybody else do model railways? There. Let's see if I can get it in focus. Hang on. If I can change this over and get this into focus. No. There we are. There we are. That's it. You see it a bit better now. There's the before. And there's the after. I will eventually get round to do all of it. Yeah, but that's it. Yeah, the coal truck. Yeah, things you see on here, just not all about plastic models, but everything else. Model making mayhem. A bench packed up as going to rearrange the living room. Packed up, not parked up. Going to rearrange the living room so that I have a place to paint and build and film. Belly, burgers and chips, steamed veg washed down with an iron brew made from girders. Yeah, well, yeah. It wasn't that long ago that I was on a little bench in the living room, well, in the dining room. So I feel your pain. Fox says the little man has now been up the pole, had a fiddle, and everything is all right now. Good, so he's back with us. Everything should be online for going on stream. On yeah, he'll be streaming in the week. Angus Elliott, hi Angus, says thinking bacon and eggs for breakfast, but we'll probably only get a coffee. No, go for the bacon and eggs. Bacon and eggs. It's a nice smell to fill the house with. live around it. Yeah, bacon, cooking bacon. Wayne says belly, tomato soup, bench, Legion, Rebel Commandos. Is that Warhammer type stuff? Now once again, oh there, we found it. Yeah, people are talking about getting an Xbox. Eric Graham, am I watching Ted's stream of foxes? Ted, every time somebody asks a question, you have a drink, says Chris. Was that a question or a statement? Oh, that was a statement. Hang on, I'll put that back on. Right, yeah, right. I've caught up with the chat, I think. So just have a refreshment, just to keep the speech vocal cords going. Right, so now we've cut one piece, and we were about to cut another piece because I can't remember where that goes. So we'll look now for an A19. And it would be easier if I turned it round and I could see the numbers. And I still can't find it. There it is. When you look at the when you look at the instructions, and you look now then, can we work out where it goes yet? Aha. Right, there's a nub on that. I need to get rid of that nub. Here we go again. Ah, found it. Got it. Right. How things have changed since we were kids building a universe carrier first time round, when we just used to pull the bits off the sprue and then glue them on. Wasn't anything, we didn't even know about nubs then. There was no nubs or seam lines. Perhaps, I don't think models had nubs and seam lines when we were kids, because we never cleaned any of them off and we never noticed them. Kilogram says almost a lost part. Almost. Right, and now I know where this bit goes. And it only goes in one way around. I would get the tweezers out, but I think if I got the tweezers out, it'll be bing across the other side of the room. Right, question time. 2 bits glued on. That's about as much as we got done last week, because there was, I've lost him. 1, 2, 3 bits last week, so we've got one more bit to do this week, and then we call it a night to match last week. So yeah, question time. Your turn to fire a question at me. Ask anything you like, as long as it's not involving sport, politics, religion, science, football. Dave, yeah, 2 bits, 40 minutes. Yes, it's been going 40. Yeah, we've been going 40 minutes already. At least we're more successful than the launch. At least we've achieved something. Right, another part. While I think of a question, will the glue fit in that? It won't. Yeah, that was. Chris says, I just want questions so I can drink. That was a question, wasn't it? Will glue not fit? Yeah. Right, another bit. A13. While I think of the question, I'll cut A13, make it 3 bits. I've just had the sprue, now I can't find it. A13. My eyes are bad. Six weeks later, thanks to viewers' demand, Ted's streams developed into him mainlining whiskey. Yeah, well, it's nice whiskey. Yeah, it's very generous. It's like, yeah, I've got to show me appreciation of it. Where was I? I forgot the number. A13. As you look around, squinting, do you think you can find things better on the sprue by squinting with your tongue out? Dave says, Ted, how am I going to manage that loft ladder later? I just stay up here. Wake me up in the morning. Yeah, eventually I get down when the bottle bank at the bottom of the ladder enables me to climb down via the loft, via the bottle bank. Right, that's that bit. Now then. Cynical Steve says reverse tweezers don't ping, but they do pinch when you get them wrong. Yeah, they do. I actually use my reverse tweezers. As you could tell, I use them for spraying because they're brilliant at just holding bits. Yeah, brilliant. Drink, that was a question. I have got, yeah. I see there's a cunning plan here, isn't there? I see what you lot are doing. Next bits. That looks like that one. A24. Right. Nubs. There we go. That can go on there. And a little bit more Tamiya extra thin. Have we got any more belly images coming in? Dad says I've got a leak in the roof. It's watering down that malt. This malt is actually nice enough to drink without the water in it. You can drink it straight, but then I think I would just die. And yeah, because there's some whiskies I found that you need to add the water to them just to bring out the flavour. It sort of like boosts the flavour. Well, it doesn't boost the flavour, it just enhances it, brings it all out. But this Highland Park, it's not like that. It's probably where it's brewed, where it's distilled, because I know that different areas of Scotland, each whisky has its own character. But it's certainly one of the, I've got a couple in the cupboard now, and it's one of the few that I have that I could actually quite happily drink neat. Not that I would, because I'd never get up the next day. Jamie says, Ted, ever thought about adding lemonade with the whiskey? Oh, yeah, I think Scott Sutherland might have something to say about that. Or anybody from Scotland might have something to say about that, especially single malts. I believe that Johnny Walker, like a Red Label or something like that, are actually whiskies, the blends, and they are actually made for adding mixers to tonics, ginger ales and things like that. But certainly if you were in a Scots bar and asked for some lemonade in your single malt, you might get thrown out. AJ says, Ted, is that one of my stickers on the mug, or is it a blank mug and had it made for me? Yeah, it is one that I got made in the market. There's a chap in our local market that, I'll have a drink of water, has a little stall, prints mugs and t-shirts, things like that. So they're not readily available. They're a very rare mug. And unfortunately, lockdown and things like that, I don't think there's any chance of seeing him until whenever to get any more made. But if there's enough interest, if people are asking for mugs for the cost of having them printed and paying postage, I could maybe see and get some more made. Scott Sutherland says in capital letters, not in the Highland Park. You don't put lemonade in Highland Park. AJ says a block of ice only in a single malt. Yeah, some people do that. Yeah, they put an ice cube in rather than a drop of water. Dad says, woo, Scott's just flipped. Frankie Goes to Hollywood says, time for sleep. Bye bye and good night. Yeah, thanks for coming in, Frankie. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, so we'll see you next week. I'll try and do another one next week. Jamie says his dad drinks his with lemonade. He drinks Grant's or Famous Grouse. Yeah, that's it. Chris said he could probably get me mugs. Yeah, well, we'll see if there's any demand or interest, things like that, and we'll see how we go from there. If you're interested, just drop me an email and let me know. I should really put my email up down here somewhere, should I, rather than the Ted E Models email, because we'll get something sorted out so you can contact me. What else have I got to do? Right, C16. Nope. Ah, there they are. There we are. Both the same. I actually got, when I started Skipper Scale Models, I actually got myself a jacket made with the Skipper's logo on it, and after that I got an E-Models one as well, so I can't wear them both, but yeah, still around somewhere. Not that anybody, you know, nobody used to stop me in Tesco when I was wearing it and say, "Are you Ted?" But never mind, one can live in hope. Yeah, the grammar, please. I've just noticed the missing apostrophe in your title overlay. We'll speak tomorrow. Yep, my office. See you in the morning. Nubs. Nubs. Ostrich 9000. To everyone who wants a Ted mug, hit the like button. Yeah. Let me know. I think, yeah, I should set up, I'll have to work out how to do it, and I'll set up a separate Ted Skipper Scale Models email account so that you can find me, and then everything doesn't blend into all the emails that I usually get sent from work and things like that, so I can find out all my personal model making stuff all in one place. I could do that. I'll have a go at that tomorrow. Cynical Steve says, early start in the morning, gotta go, love you and leave you. Cheers, Ted. Laters, everybody. Yeah, laters, gang. Thanks for coming in, Steve. Thank you very much. Great to see you. And we'll see you again next week, I hope. Right. Something doesn't seem to sit there. Right, we'll do that. We'll leave that there. Lynn says she would hit the like button, but I'm on the big telly. I'm on the big telly. The huge telly. Cool. Me being on the telly. Has anybody in chat? My chat's over there. Has anybody in chat been on the telly? Have you ever been on the telly? Chris said, that's enough building. Get to the drinking and dropping stuff. Yeah, I've actually finished a whole... No, I haven't finished a whole section. I've got that bit to do. B4. No. So, yeah. B what? B24. Ah, it's there. Ow. Ow. Sorry. Just cut that off at the same time as I cut my finger off. Never mind. Right, which way around? Ow. How hurts that? Pretty sharp, them things. Yeah. Big camera. No, I can't get my head around this one. Right, so, yep. Nobody. Have we not any budding TV fans? TV stars. There's nobody in the chat tonight. Ever been on telly? Ever been famous? Been interviewed by anybody famous? Met anybody famous? Claim to fame. This is the time if you want to drop any names, you're free to drop names. I was once told to F off by His Royal Highness Prince Philip, if that's any good. It's a very posh way of doing it as well. I was taking his photograph, but I got mixed up with a press pack. So being pushed and shoved and things like that. He'd just fallen off his horse at Lowther horse trials. He'd just fallen out of his carriage. Because if you remember, His Royal Highness Prince Philip used to do a lot of carriage riding and things like that. And he just got thrown out of his carriage on the course at Lowther where they used to go each year. And the press pack descended upon him. I was just your ordinary Joe Public trying to take a picture, but got a royal F off. So I did, because I didn't like the guy that stood next to him. Bottlemaker Guru says he was a guest on a show on Withenshaw FM once. Does anyone listen to Withenshaw FM? What was that about? Do tell. Candygram from Mongo says nobody able to beat Ted's brush with greatness. Yeah, I'm mixed with the great, the good. Always interesting. Yeah, you don't think royalty can swear, but they do swear, most royally. Scott Sutherland says he's been on Eastern European telly, first British Army to train in the area. So you were on Russian telly? Yeah. Where they was the TV crew there sort of with big notepads taking numbers of vehicles and things like that and counting heads? 1, 2, 3, 4. Quanaman says I once met Rick Mail and told him I liked his bottom. See what you did, yes. Lynn says she'd never been on telly. I tell you what, Lynn, you do a live stream, we'll put you on the telly. We'll put you on our big telly. Hannon Graham from Mongo said he met Ray Harryhausen. Harrison. Oh, yeah. I know what you meant, kind of. Yeah, called bottom. Yeah, I thought it was a good play on words. That it was a yeah. Dave says I was in the newspaper. It was the court roundup. And does that count? And they makes a question. Chris says he was on telly because he performed at the Royal Albert Hall. Dude, we need more than that. It's like the pizza question. It's like the pizza answer. I've got pizza for my tea. I was at the Royal Albert Hall. Yeah, go on. Jamie says I've bet the Queen. Yeah, I've bet the Queen as well. And I've been on my local radio station talking about allotments. Did you have an allotment? I had an allotment. Angus Elliott says I could imagine the Queen would enjoy dropping the odd chud muppet in conversation. Yeah. Carl's in. Good evening, Carl. Evening, Ted and folks. He says, hi, Carl. Butcher Model Maker Guru says Dave is actually Butcher. That model is actually living the Crown Court dream. Yeah. Did you ever reach the dizzy heights of Crown Court? Yeah. Yeah. Whenever I used to go to court, I always used to impress the judge, get him on my side, because you used to do your oath. I swear by Almighty, etc., etc. then I used to introduce myself. I'm police constable, etc. And I'm I'm police constable 464, and I work at Barra Police Station, etc. Then you used to get the judge on your side, because you used to turn to the judge and you used to say, "Good afternoon, Your Worship." Then he used to sort of wake up and sort of sit upright. Yes, good afternoon, officer. Yeah, thank you very much. That's it. It was on your side, you see. That's how you. Yeah. Let's have. Jamie says he's still got an allotment, but he hasn't been on it lately because he's at work. All right, Chris has come clean that. Oops, the camera. Chris has come clean. He tells us why he was at the Albert Hall. He says he was in the Boys Brigade. The Boys Brigade Bugle Band, with several others. Model Making Mayhem says he met Jim Rose from the Twisted Circus. I never heard of either of them, sorry. Yeah. I've been told, Conamon says, Butcher, that model lives on Sesame Street with Big Bird. My claim to fame says Chris, he once had a cuppa and a chat on a massive ship with the Ted Hawksworth. And going to Stoke and meeting Fox and Chris. Yes, once met, never forgotten. Yeah. Carl says, I've been in an opera. Yeah. He was 12 at the time, but hey, well, that was it. That's all to be uploaded. Yeah. It's a good opera. Which opera? AJ said he planted peas on his allotment this evening after work. But there's a technique for planting peas. Did you use a drain pipe, fill it with soil, put your peas in, then when the peas germinate, you slide the whole lot off into a trough that you dug in the ground? Tips. Gardening with Ted. Gardening on your allotment with Ted for tonight. Model making haggis. Sean Connery was a good friend of his late dad, and he met him several times. Brilliant. I would input the Sean Connery accent here, but my accents are terrible. I can't. No, I'm not going to even try it. Model making guru said he met Sylvester McCoy. Was that before he was Doctor Who? When he was filming a kids quiz thing at Granada? They had a long conversation with a postman from Cheers, without realising who he was. That was just the postman who said Cheers. Difference. Yeah. Philip Prime said if it helps, he nearly got run over by Sterling Moss on a moped. What, you were on a moped, or he was? Yeah. It was. Where do you think you're going, Sterling Moss? Who do you think you are? Dave says, I did have Shane McGowan from the Pogues by the throat 20 odd years ago. Does that count? Ted, that was a question. Drink. Oh dear, did I get the wrong one? I'm just trying to make it last. I tell you something, model making guru, he and I are dropping names today. He shared tea and cake lunch with Betty Driver one afternoon. Betty from Corrie. AJ grew his peas in plugs in a greenhouse. I know what you mean. Yeah, plugs. Chris has met Big Ted from Play Skill. Did he do personal appearances? Did he send him round the skills? Dave Cardboard said he once had a wee with Heim Wolf. That's a great claim to fame, yeah. And Chris sat in the mastermind chair. Yeah. One of the reasons I never been on Mastermind was I just can't sit on leather. Yeah, I would have gone on Mastermind. They wanted me, but I just can't sit on leather. Philip says it was Sterling on the ped with the Marlboro girl on the back. Yeah, we better know where he was going then. I'd had to delicately explain to a Brookside actor in the holiday caravan next to his that his bathroom window needed a blind, says Fox. Was that at Ulverston? Did we have Brookside actors at Ulverston? Chris said his dad's cousin used to run the BBC props department. Ah, that's with the Mastermind chair. There wasn't. They weren't playing music. And Chris Williams answering questions on gross models. Scott Sutherland said he met Chris Akabusi and one of the gladiators from the TV show. Yeah, that was Murder the Gladiators, wasn't it? Well, they did try and murder each other, and I spilt something on my instructions. What would your Mastermind subject be then? If you were on Mastermind, what would your specialist subject be? Jamie Bourne says, Chris, I bet your specialist subject on Mastermind was small things. Lynn says she met Patrick Stewart, George Takei and Dudley Moore there. The Lakeside House says Zadster, hi Zadster, was used to stop in next to Ullswater, was used in several Coronation Street episodes. Yeah, it counts. Claim to fame. Yeah, it counts. Lynn says, what is Mastermind? Yeah, Google it. Yeah, you'll find loads of them on YouTube and spoofs of it as well. Jamie Bourne says Mastermind subject would be cricket or military vehicles. Ostrich says specialist subject things I know. Chris Balchin said, what did I spill it? Not the tartan. No, wasn't the tartan. Don't worry, it was the water. It's sloshing out the cup. Carl says, I once knew a man whose dog walker's sister, uncle, was married to a woman whose auntie had friends and mate. Angus Elliott says, I played gigs supporting Tumbleweed, Magic Dirt and many other Aussie bands you lot have probably never even heard of. Never even heard of them. Sorry Angus, never even heard of them. But I bet if you said that to people in Oz, they would be most impressed. We'll keep that, and then next time I'm in Oz, I'll mention it. Do you know Angus? Yeah, do you know he's done gigs supporting Tumbleweed, and yeah, I'll hang on to that. Chris says the only Aussie band he knew was Tripod. Simple Minds, great band. Where are we up to? Should we do some more on this, or should we? Time's getting on. I don't want to start. I don't want to peak too soon by going on to section 2. You see. Yeah, I don't want to peak and go on to section 2 before next week, because that gives us not like 1, 2, but it gives us about 3 weeks more, doesn't it? Sorry, yeah. Right, let's cut that out, because if I cut this out, then I can paint it, because he said he wants painting for next week. No. It's getting hot in here again. It's when all the lights go on, start filming, everything gets hot. Fox, I may not glue. I'm just going to cut these out and then promptly lose them between now and next week. But yeah, that's that one glued. Cut. Chris worked in Kendall Leisure Centre, where he also met the Grumbleweeds and many others. Oh, the Grumbleweeds, yes. Grumbleweeds. What? I know they were a comedy group, but they did a song as well, didn't they? So that says they were the proper in the 70s working man's club band. And once again, Lynn says she's never heard of Grumbleweeds. Once again, Google's your friend. Zadster says them and the Baron Knights. Baron Knights, yeah. Yeah, there was a few groups about that time that did a few sort of one-off songs, one-hit wonders. Yep, Wheel Tappers and Shunters Social Club. Yep, that was a good Saturday night's viewing, that wasn't it? Saturday night, Wheel Tappers and Shunters Social Club. All around the room, ding 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 ding. I forgot where I was at. I forgot what I was going to do. XF10. What the colour is XF10? If it's green, it'll go together. Well, that's handy. To me, I'd give you a colour paint guide to tell you that XF10 isn't on here. No. I'll have to look that up after. I probably think it's a leather type colour, because these look like seats or seat backs. That's the smell of stale Tetleys and cigarette ends. That was answered by Fox, who says that's the same smell, also known as Robinson's pub. Yeah, any pubs in the 70s, 80s that used to go in used to smell of stale cigarettes. Jamie says XF10 is flat brown. Thank you very much for that. I thought it was a brown. Yeah, they used to smell of cigarettes, and if you ever go in a pub when it was shut, and it used to stink. It was horrible. The horrible smell. But yeah, kids of today don't know what they're missing, as they say. Chris asks, am I still part of the Blue Rinse Brigade? Yes. I don't know if you can see it. Is it on? I don't think you can see the colour. Hang on. There we go. Just growing out a little bit now. It's more like the blue rinse has gone. Well, it's still a bit of blue in the blue highlighting the grey. Fox says, is Ulverston all Marston's pubs? Like the Lakes version of Robinson's. No, Ulverston was all Hartley's pubs until Hartley's closed down, and then they were all bought by Robinson's actually. So there's a bit of a link there with the Robinsons, yeah, that come round. But Hartley's, yeah, they still kept the Hartley's name and tried to brew the same beer, but eventually they sort of ran it down and stopped brewing the beer. AJ says, useless fact of the night, wheel tappers. Used to test the wheels of steam trains for hairline cracks by tapping them. Special hammers and listening for the tone they made. Yes, if they rang, that means that the wheel was complete. If there was a little dead thud, it meant there was a hairline crack somewhere, so they used to take it off the run. Thank you AJ for the useless fact of the night. Dave Cardboard, remember when pubs had proper rooms like the lounge, no jeans, must be wearing a tie, the bar and the snug and the off licence, a little hatch. Yeah, that's it. That's when your mum, when you were 6, your mum used to send you the off licence. So you go in the back door of the pub and there'd be a little hatch there, you knock on it and it'd slide up. Yep, what do you want? Can I have 20 beds and edges, please? Yep, alright, here they go. And it'll slam back down again and you trot off home with your mum's 20 beds and edges. Or you could even go in and you could buy a flagon of alcohol. My dad says, can I have a flagon of alcohol? Are you sure? Yeah. So you used to get that out the hatch as well. That's when it was all real stuff. None of this. Yeah. Then came Watney's Red Barrel. I think we spoke about that on a E-Model stream one night. Watney's Red Barrel. Does anybody remember drinking? Is anybody old enough in here? I take it you are. to remember drinking Watney's Red Barrel. It was horrible. It was just fizzy water. Dave Cardboard, he's bit the off licence. His hatch had a bell pull on it on a string. Zad used to play the football pools. Yeah, before the days of the lottery, there was the football pools. When it 8 from 10, used to put 8 crosses in a box. Sorry, Lynn, you'll be missing out here again. Google it. Yeah, used to do 8 from 10 with your grandma, or if you got your grandma and she'd be doing the pools, and then she'd let you pick the 8 from 10. Used to get 8 score draws, and you'd win. You could win? You couldn't even win £1 million then. There was that famous film, wasn't there, about spend for the woman that won the first £1 million on the football pools. What else was there? Spot the ball. Carl says spot the ball. Yeah, spot the ball. You could either put all the crosses on, it'd take you forever and ever to do it, spot the ball, or you could buy a stamp. There was a rubber stamp with however many X's that you could have, and you just used to stamp it on. Where was the nearest to the centre of the ball? How they ever chose that, I don't know. Dave Cardboard says his uncle had a pools round who used to sell cigarettes as a sideline. Yeah, that was it. Waiting for the pools man. Yeah, you used to hide behind the sofa when the rent man came, but when the pools man came, you could answer the door then. Yeah, if they both came at the same time, you didn't know what you were going to do. Bottle Making Mayhem says, yeah, the 100 cross stamp, my gran did that religiously. Then there wasn't the one, there was a different one. There was Littlewoods did Spot the Ball, and I seem to remember the one, there was one Spot the Dog. Not Spot the Dog, but you yeah, the position of the ball was probably decided by the Working Men's Club Committee. Yeah. Point of order, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to bring to your attention a number of issues that have occurred in the club this week. A woman, I say a woman was seen in bar, which is most inappropriate for 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. Dave said he used to hide when the radio rentals man turned up to empty the telly box. Yeah, he used to put coins in the back of the telly, didn't you? I remember that one. And then there was Ready Fusion as well, where you didn't change the channel on the telly. There was a switch on the windowsill. You used to turn it to what channel you want. There was about 20 odd positions on this switch, but only ever 4 channels. Or 3. There was 3 channels. Yeah. Fox is quite rightly explaining there to Lynn that the only forms of nutrition in the north of England in the 70s was smoking and manly ale. Yeah, used to smoke. Didn't even get home from pub. You didn't get home from work before you called in pub. And then you used to get dressed up to go out on a Saturday night. You'd go out to sit in Working Men's Club because there was the club singer on. Yeah, your mum and dad used to go to the Working Men's Club. Your dad would go off and play on the bandit. Mum would sit there with her friends drinking Baby Sham. Dad would be on the bandit drinking. Dad would be on. No, she'd be in concert room. Dad would be in bar on the bandit, and that was it. And the club singer would be up on the stage, singing all the songs of the day. They all sounded the same. Dave Cardboard says you made jest, but in Spot the Ball contest, the committee moved where the winning ball was just in case the undoctored photo got leaked. Yeah, so it was decided upon by somebody else. It wasn't the actual place of the ball. The height of achievement was making to committee at the men's club. Yeah. Got that tap on your shoulder one day when you stood at the bar. Excuse me. Have you ever considered coming on committee? Yeah, I said you're in a regular. Would you come on committee? Fancy dinner was a Party 7 exploding in the bath. Yeah, I was trying to open a Party 7. Yeah, if you're really posh, you had a Party 7, which was a huge can of beer that contained 7 pints of fizzy water. Slightly alcoholic, and if you really posh, you had a tap that went on the top with a sparklets bulb in it, so you could draw off a pint, just like being in a pub. But if you weren't, you just opened it with a tin opener, and if somebody had chuck it up first, it just used to explode. you did have to open them in the bath because otherwise everything got soaked. Yeah, and then you used to pour it out. And there was never any left in the morning because it just go flat within about 20 minutes. Dave Cardboard says, don't forget bingo. Bingo. Bingo time. Attention please, we're going to call the bingo now. And it would go deathly quietly. All the 2 and 2, 22. The 2 little ducks, 22. 2 fat ladies, 88. And if anybody coughed, smoked, got up to go to the loo. Yeah. Yeah, the days of the Working Men Club, I remember. Yeah, then of Christmas, you'd have the kids' Christmas party where we were allowed to go to the club, and Santa Claus would come out. There'd be some sort of weird entertainment provided by one of them committee members, balloon moulding or something like that. Father Christmas, another committee member, would appear from the back, hand out presents chosen by committee. And a good time was had by all, whilst Mum was in the concert room, Dad was in the bar playing the bandit. Dave Cardboard says, you knew you made it to manhood when you could drink a whole party 7 without being sick. Yeah, I don't know if you could ever drink a whole party 7 without being sick, because it was just fizzy water. Housey in bar. Yeah, we have a house in the bar. Yeah. That's it. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. We've just had it from barmaid. We've got house in bar. Yeah. Last number was 8 and 8. 2 fat ladies. Just hold there, please. We've got housey in bar. Now she's just off to bed. Thanks for your background entertainment. I'll see you again. Yeah, good luck with the next video on that. We'll look forward to seeing it. How times have changed. How men have changed, says Fox. He's always amused that nowadays when we get pot bellies we stress and hide it. Yeah, it used to be a great show of manhood then. Breaker. Another kind of breaker. I remember Breaker. Was that was Breaker the British way of trying to produce a continental lager? I remember it was like Blue Lynx now, isn't it? Or the equivalent of Blue Lynx or Yellow Lynx. Just cheap lager. Right, shall we do it? No, I don't think we will do any more on this. We'll see, because if I cut any more bits out, my finger still hurts. If I cut any more bits out, I'll lose that. Dave Cardboard, when I were a lad, deodorant was considered unmanly. It was, yeah. Long hair, deodorant, makeup. Woe betide a lad if he if he had long hair and tried to wear makeup, getting into the punk age. Yeah, that was really looked down on. Yeah, get your hair cut, lad. Yep. Fox confirms it was crappy fizzy beer, if he recalls. It was in the early days of Nut Ale. Yep, that was Party 7, Red Barrel, that sort of stuff. It was horrible stuff. Party 4, that must have been for the pansies. I don't remember a Party 4, but yeah, I can certainly see it. Could I have a Party 4, please? You want what? But we've got a Party 7 here. Can I just have a Party 4? Yeah, alright then. Dude, how many bits have I dropped tonight? I haven't dropped any, but I didn't get much done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bits tonight. 8 bits, and 9 if you count the bottom tray. 8, 1. Yeah, I've gone a few more bits than I had last week. That's it. And a baby sham for the lady with a cherry. Yeah, and an umbrella. You've got the little umbrellas you have in your baby sham. Your little umbrella. or the sword, the plastic sword with a cherry on. I haven't seen any plastic swords for a long time. Yeah, your mum used to fetch them home for you when she'd been out. When mum and dad had been out for the night, they used to fetch plastic swords and umbrellas home for you. And you never twigged that that's how much they'd had to drink all night. Just thought it was a novelty thing that they brought home from the pub, or a packet of those snacks. There was a Ritz biscuit, a triangular Dairy cheese, and a pickled onion, all in a plastic bag. Yeah, none of your highbrow peanuts. Yeah. Chris, is that the sledge version of the Bren carry? Yeah, downhill all the way. Yeah, there was no things. There was no such thing as pork scratchings. So Candy's mum and dad used to fetch the swords home as well. Yes. Yeah. Maybe they did used to bring them home to remind themselves how much they had drunk. So when they got up in the morning, they think, "Oh, I've got a thick head. How many did we have last night? 1, 2, 3. Count the swords out." So that was it. So yeah. Anyway, I'm about to finish this now. Snowballs. Yeah, snowballs. I remember snowballs. Steve Cardboard from a bottle opener. The great role of a bottle opener. Chris says, "Well, we tell you one thing, when we were a kid, sweets were sweets." Anyway, I think it's about time I wrapped up for the night, because I'm just about the bottom of this glass now. But it has been a good night. It's been a nice chat. Once again, didn't get that much done tonight. A little bit more than I thought I would. Didn't drop anything, unfortunately. Well, yeah, I didn't drop anything, so I didn't have to go searching for it. But I think we'll probably leave it for now, and we'll continue this next week. I'll make a note of where we were up to, and we'll continue next week. So we're up to sweets. Yeah, we can talk about some sweets next week, and more going out and things like what did we used to do when we used to go out for night. Anyway, thanks very much everybody for joining us tonight, and we'll leave it. It's got to 10:30, the witching hour, and as I say, it's almost gone in here now. So it's been good to have you all along, and hope to see you all when I do. Hopefully I'll do another one next week, but if you come along next week, bring a friend. Yeah, tell everybody that Ted's doing live streams and things like that. But thanks very much for watching. We'll see you all again next week, and for now, Slangivar. Bye.